Lost and out of focus, I can hear a word you say. Cause I don't care about your game, I just wanted you to see me. Thought that you should know I'm already sold, so never let me go. You had me at a talking, I don't care. With you, my mind is clear. La 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 la. Have me at hello. La 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 la. Have me at hello. La 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 la.
Welcome back to EUCF coverage 2024. Here in the Open Division, we have the next matchup of One Tribe from Bologna versus XVI from Dublin. Those of you who follow Ultimate very closely might be a little confused seeing these names tied to these cities, but these are two powerful cities that have brought two teams each in the Open Division. We've got kind of the battle of the little brothers here. One Tribe, maybe little brother to La Fota and XVI, little brother to Ranelagh, both here battling it out in pool play. I'm Rai Vasudevan, joined by Hannah Pendlebury. Hannah, tell me what's gone on with these teams so far in this tournament.
It has been a tasty start for both. Of course, we're expecting Mooncatchers, who are in the same pool as these two teams in front of us, to go all the way deep into the championship bracket, perhaps get themselves another gold medal. But XVI ran some fairly open lines against them and posted a 15-11 eventual scoreline against the big Moon lads from Brussels, just down the road from here. On the other side of things, One Tribe had a universe point finish against Isno No Good, where they toppled them by 1 after a mammoth comeback. So they're a big part of that was Pablo de Grazia, who scored the first break on the train to get them back into position in that matchup. So, and talk about little brothers, there are a couple of brothers as well, including 2 on the same team actually. One tribe have both of the Poltok siblings.
Yeah, key players for the Italian side. Looking at the algorithm real quick about how these 2 teams did in this season, it predicts a 14.85 to 15 win for One Tribes. Just a narrow little victory. But again, as we said, this is a key game for both these teams. As we said, Mooncatchers probably going to win the pool. But I think the 3 teams below them, with Is No Good in the mix, any 3 of those teams could be knocked out. So you're going to want to get a good game here and probably win by a good margin, as 3-way ties are possible, Hannah.
Certainly is. Well, I mean, a win for One Tribe would be pretty mammoth. That would, of course, put them in front in terms of if there are any 3-way tie crazy matchups. That 4th spot, of course, being brutally knocked out of contention for a gold medal on day 1 here in Oostende. But the windy conditions and wet are great equalizers. We're certainly going to have higher turnover tallies than we normally would, but watch out for XVI's deep looks. They certainly were able to sneak away with some breaks of score against Mooncatchers with that, including taking the first point of the game on a break.
One other factor we have to mention here, Hannah. Apparently, it's about to get windy. I've heard that the weather reports, there have been some windy weather, but I think more of a thrower's wind, playable conditions. From what I'm told and from what the organization has been warning us, this round we might start to see some problems for teams ultimate-wise. So I think you're going to want to get scores in on the upwind side as early as possible in this game, because they'll probably be at a premium shortly.
Well, and this pitch isn't really so much of an upwind-downwind affair. There's slight tilts, it changes diagonally, but it's more of a crosswind one. So sticking on this near side of the pitch on our camera view is going to be key.
XVI in white going to start things on offense here. The Dublin boys start out in a vertical stack. Nice bladey pass, still collected. Looking off the line, great dump, reset coverage by One Tribe. Pass up the line as James O'Donovan throws the nice inside pass over to Costello. Moving up the line, just a wayward pass, and now One Tribe have a chance to go slightly into this upwind direction. Starting the counterattack immediately, and they get it to Caselli. See a bit of a horizontal stack look here from One Tribe as they look to generate some options downfield. So far, XVI doing a good job of forcing One Tribe into only dump spaces, and now another wayward pass gives XVI a short field.
Yeah, unlike many defensive, offensive possessions, that one just looked a little bit too conservative.
Doherty now is going to halt things on a pick call. The cut in from Joey Curtis will have to come back. Ooh, nice inside pass, just snuck through, but I think that's Ross O'Donovan that could not come down with it. And now One Tribe get another chance.
Yeah, we have certainly seen many an inside break shot go askew in the first 2 rounds of play today.
So again, One Tribe coming out in this horizontal stack set play, immediately looking to their reset structure. They get it over to Tommaso Zani. That's going to be a high pass, but it looks like it might still be collected. It is. One Tribe now on the doorstep for the first break of the game. Flip around, layout into the end zone, and One Tribe break to start things off. That's Tommaso Zani with the score, and One Tribe go up 1-0.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic layout. Tilla Vadova going full stretch. But some might say gratuitously there, but I think you've got to secure possession for sure every opportunity you get, especially for a break in this game, of course, being so meaningful this morning.
I mean, you say gratuitous, but I think he was able to jump that into the end zone. If he didn't do that layout, he probably wouldn't have been a scorer.
Stats hogging, clearly.
One Tribe do go up 1-0. A nice strong start from the boys from Bologna.
Well, that is exactly what they wanted. They don't want to find themselves behind like they did in their previous pool game. Of course, 3 matches on our first day of action here. Just the 3 days, though, not the 3.5 that we've seen at smaller field sites. And one thing has to be said. You'll see there's a symmetrical puddle action directly in the back section of both of these end zones, which show the amount of water that's sort of been collected. But other than that, it's a little bit slippery underfoot, but generally the pitches are still in relatively firm condition, allowing people to make full, proper cuts. No weird banana reaction. Yeah,
I've talked to a few players, and they've said that, yes, the conditions aren't great, but the one thing they've all said is that this fields have been fantastic. So grass quality, something that all players like. Pull goes out of bounds, and XVI going to get their second offensive chance at the brick mark. And they're starting in a pretty deep vertical stack here. Looking to cut off the front of the stack. Doesn't like that, immediately goes to reset structure, but Bologna shuts it down. Jack McNamara goes to the tipped pass, and goes for the greatest. And that's just great team coverage by One Tribe, forcing a very difficult pass. And they're going to get a chance for another break. McNamara, of course, no stranger to the EUCF, winning with Ranelagh in their run a few years ago. But now it's One Tribe trying to march against this XVI side. Pass, nice leading pass, perfectly weighted into the end zone, and One Tribe punch another one in. They go up 2-0 as Federico Baraldi collects a score for his name.
Extra little slap spikes on it. Oh, and a kick as well from Beniamino. Well, a timeout being called by XVI. No surprises with the 2-0 deficit that they've started off in this game. They just can't seem to find the magic. Relatively simple stuff, though, from One Tribe. Identifying that sag in the lane from Jack Mack. And you can see how much dirt he's already collected on what was surely once a white crisp jersey. But caught sleeping and poaching.
As the teams take a break, we'll take a quick break here. We'll be back with you shortly as first half continues here at the EUCF 2024. So important start here for One Tribe, Hannah. As we said before, the conditions are going to get worse. Taking that lead early, super important because it might turn into a downwind trading affair coming out of here. What do you think XVI said in their halftime huddle to get back in this game?
I mean, probably just back yourself, lads. And it's a focus and attention thing. In difficult conditions when you're playing a game of Ultimate, you really do have to watch it all the way into your hands in terms of your catches, and you have to just really center yourself and focus when you're releasing discs. I mean, it's always fun to see McNamara trying to go for a greatest, but the throw's definitely gone very wrong as that pull will land well out of bounds.
The pull from Delavadova going out of bounds, maybe starting to see the wind play a bit more of a role. The rain is definitely slowly intensifying, kind of creeping up on us, Hannah.
Well, the wind is as well. We're actually sheltered by our production tent next door, yet still the flaps of the walls of the tent, as we've lowered it down to try and not catch so much of the breeze, is being pushed firmly against us.
A vertical stack set up again from XVI. Last time they tried to initiate from the front. Looks like they're going to initiate a cutter in space this time. A few options go, and that pass goes wayward. Oh. XVI give the disc right back, and One Tribe again try to extend their lead to 3 to start this game. Much better start from one tribe than in their last affair. Delavadova, nice inside pass. Great continuation over to De Grazi. And one tribe punch in another break. That's 3 on the trot, Hannah. 3-0 for the boys from Bologna.
Ouch. That's all I got for that one. Just straight up pain for Curtis. That's 2 big drops for the number 41 for XVI. Of course, their name hailing to the fact that many of these lads started playing together on the under-24s roster for Ireland back in the day. So a couple of them wearing the national team shorts about here on the fields, violating our uniform codes. But of course, in today's conditions, I don't think anyone really cares if all your accessories are exactly matching. But it's a perfect start. And again, another very quick counter-attack here from one tribe, starting it off with a throw that many are finding difficult in these conditions, but the distance on it and the amount of respect being given by XVI on that open side, just absolutely getting it to the wrong side of the defenders and pushing it all the way through.
So 3-0 for one tribe here, as twice in a row XVI have basically a first pass turnover. Not a great start from the Dublin boys.
And it is still that focus element. You know, there was no defender anywhere near that. So Curtis with no pressure, but that within his own mind.
All right, now XVI do get their first pass over. A little bit of discussion. I think on a... Not sure what the call is, actually. Can't tell if it's a travel or maybe a contact. Foul accepted. McNamara, I said, in front of the stack. They eventually go from deep, but there's a paw on it. One tribe body's just too big, and they're given another chance. A wayward pass works out. There's nothing can seem to go wrong for one tribe in this game. Just as I say that, of course, one thing does, as Bonini Beniano not able to grab that one. One tribe again go for the deep shot to Jack McNamara. Is he going to be able to track this one down? He does. He's slid down in the end zone, close to the end zone. Tips it back. Can XVI finally put themselves on the board? Nice little 1-2 movement from XVI. Finally shoots into the end zone. Not quite in yet. There's the pass. Did he have his foot in? Not in called. Ross O'Donovan looks. There's a one tribe player calling that it's definitely a goal. This is a confusing scene here, Hannah. It looks like the player wants to calm himself out, but a one tribe defender is saying, no, you were definitely in. Haven't seen the argument go this way that often.
Yeah, I mean, if he was in bounds for the goal, then play just stops when the catch was made by O'Donovan. I mean, regardless, the only kind of unfairness you can say is perhaps the confusion for the defender marking the throw of O'Donovan, but I'm fairly sure by the position of everybody that was an open side pass as well.
I don't know, but the discussion here, the one tribe player is calling him in. It was tough to see there if his foot was on the line when he caught it or not. Oh, sorry, it was the next pass that was discussion about. Okay, I see what's happening now.
Yes, a call making a stoppage, confusing people.
Yeah.
Might come back. So you see some bitten lips there, nerves on the sideline.
I think the question is here, did anybody stop playing? Nobody called goal. Oh, I guess he... Oh, sorry, it's a travel. It's a travel on the throw. Yeah, what happened was he ran out of bounds, ran back into the end zone and kind of walked a few steps forward. Then a travel was called. So that is going to definitely come back into the hands of O'Donovan.
Confusing hand signals.
Yeah. I do understand what Parodi is saying.
I just love the action replay of, like, you toe drag this way out of here. You should start. Figure it out, folks.
Can they do it again? The same exact pass in one? Nope, they're going to go the other way, and then they're going to pass it. Oh, I thought too far. But finally, at least a collection for XVI as they put themselves on the board. It's now 3-1. Bologna's still in front.
I'm sorry, Alex Henry. Do my eyes did he not lay out first, or did he manage to keep his feet under him? Either way, that limp looks like he sacrificed a significant portion of himself in order to achieve this. Let's get another look. So there's the miss, and then, oh yeah, just about kept his legs. What an absolute hero maker to put the first point on the board, Ravi.
Yeah, look at it here. He looks like goes for the dive there, kind of has to rebalance himself, half bent over, pushes himself over to the right, managed to make that catch. Great play there by Henry.
Huge. Well, finally, XVI punched that one on the board. We'll see that one go into our scorecard too. There you go. Almost perfection on the timing. So that's a little bit more like it, but hopefully we can see them have a few more easy scores, because at the moment, One Tribe, if they can keep punching them in the same fashion they have for their first three, and XVI are having to grind their way with their legs under and hobble off the field, this ain't going to go the Dubliners' way.
So we're going to see for the first time this game, the One Tribe O-line step onto the field. I think that's Poltok, Joshua Poltok in the middle with it. Layout blocked by XVI, and now they've got a short field to bring themselves back into this one. That's Longdijk with the assist for XVI, and they bring themselves back to within one. It's 3-2. Layout block gets them Hannah.
Oh, wow. Well, Ross O'Donovan putting the team on his back, having gotten the assist for the first point, getting bookends effectively, because, of course, tossing that one in rather than... I tell a lie. He did actually get the score. There we go. Bookends for O'Donovan.
Yeah, O'Donovan showing his boys that they're still in this fight, as we can just feel the rain coming down harder and harder. Yeah, another aspect of this game, Hannah, we talked about the importance of going up early. One other thing that could come into play with this stormy weather is lightning. And if a lightning delay pushes a game too far back, they'll probably just end up taking the result, especially if you've gotten past halftime.
Indeed. Well, that's the thing I was going to say. The big crucial thing is scoring as many points as possible to get to half, of course. Usual affair here. Total points cap of 15, so half at 8 or at 40 minutes expired on the game clock, because we have slightly curtailed game times due to these windy, stormy conditions. But hopefully, Ravi, all the lightning expired itself yesterday evening. Yeah,
we had quite a storm last night. McNamara goes to the pull. And One Tribe will take the field for the second time. As right now, D-line's doing a lot better than O-lines in this game altogether. One Tribe's O-line still hasn't put a point on the board yet. That's better movement, but then a nice sneak through paw from XVI. That's now McGovern with the D. Disc now in the hands of Jack McNamara as XVI. All of a sudden, have a chance to equalize this game. Structure a little hesitant. Nobody really cutting for anything, and there, McNamara not able to get it. He was definitely out of bounds, but I think he's going to argue that there was maybe a push-out foul. Discussion there with Pietro Zocca. A lot of One Tribe hands going up.
It's the lesser spotted force out call, actually. Not a lot of players you see do that, but it looks like it's going to be retracted. But i.e. the call is made because the thought is that, well, I wouldn't have been out of bounds on the catch if you hadn't made contact with me.
One Tribe did a couple passes, have swung to the other side of the field, and now that's better offense. Oh no. Wow, I just can't keep cursing this, can't stop cursing these teams, Hannah. Every time I compliment somebody, they do something terrible. Every time I say things aren't going well, like that pass with the layout catch from Henry, they do something amazing. I seem to be getting it wrong whenever I try to anticipate something.
I mean, that's just commentator life, mate. But it's fine. No one's listening anyway, Ravi.
McNamara has it looking downfield. Still very hesitant movement from the XVI cutters. No one really working to generate options. Kind of waiting for something to happen, and Jack McNamara just can't keep the disc in his hands this game.
Boys, let's go!
His team not making it easy for him, but still. There's the around break, and that's more like it from One Tribe. They punch it in 4-2. And XVI kicking themselves. They lose a couple opportunities there.
Yeah, some big opportunities, because leveling up would have been quite the response to that initial deficit. You saw Barry O'Gorman staying on the floor for a very long time after laying out to try and prevent the backhand break from Pietro Zocca. But One Tribe holding their nerve, of course, no strangers to playing against some of the best. It's been really interesting to see these two teams rising through the ranking algorithm. I mean, certainly when we saw XVI at the spring invite, they were at the elite invite this year, spring invite the season before, we're sort of like, oh, is it? This is nice, but really rising, of course. Ranelagh's star fading a little bit. They had that gold medal win, and then some people retiring from playing competitive ultimate. Well, I say that, even at the lower levels, the competition can certainly be rife, can't it, Ravi?
Well, I do want to say that from the big brothers of these two teams, they faced earlier today, Ranelagh and BFD Lafota. That went to Universe. Lafota just winning that one. I think a bit of a surprise. People would have thought Lafota would be a bigger favorite in that game, but Ranelagh still has some fight left in him.
Well, it's perfect Irish conditions, you see. The Emerald Isle is thus named because it has so much lovely watering that goes on. Although at the moment, XVI not managing to harness the elements to their advantage, as we see another of these pools go out of bounds, but unusually on the near side.
So yeah, and the other matchup was enough to get Ranelagh to bring BFD to the Universe. Here, One Tribe handling conditions a little better. We'll see how it plays out for the end of this game. Connor Selkirk to start things off for the XVI offense. Gets it over Doherty. Costello and Doherty playing a bit of handler reset game. Nice around pass over to Curtis. And there's a nice paw in there for One Tribe. They get going immediately, throwing down the field. Oh, that's a bit of a tasty one for this kind of win and that type of height mismatch, but looked for a moment that the box out was going to work, but XVI get it back.
We're in cuss.
Doherty picks up. Again, not a lot of options being generated by the cutters. They're hoping for their handlers to put something into power position and then go off of that.
Well, it's kind of a messy stack, really, Ravi, isn't it?
What a block there from Tommaso Zani, who's had a great game so far. Getting up big, making the block for One Tribe. Pass into the end zone, and Zani can't get this one. Elements definitely coming into play on these throws. XVI taking their time, walk this disc up.
To absolutely nobody's joy on the sidelines. I'm sure they're itching to get back on the field. It's the only way to stay warm.
No good options here in the reset space. One Tribe's dump defense has been incredible all game, and there, ooh, it looks like James Doherty is not happy on the ground. He's going to come off on an injury, and it looks like Jack McNamara wants to take his place.
Yeah, to exchange stature for absolute blazing speed.
Kondratiuk now with the disc. And One Tribe take a sub of their own. Josh Paltok coming in. Let's see if Kondratiuk can find Josh Paltok in the end zone. That opts for the tiny pass to Zani. And Zani to Paltok, not quite in the end zone yet. Paltok looking for an option. Gets it across over to Baraldi. Baraldi back to Paltok. Looks like it's going to be too far, but he chases it down. Kondratiuk into the middle. That's Delavadova. Delavadova with a nice around pass into the end zone, but it's going to be too far for Lorenzo Pace. And XVI get it back. Selkirk trying to calm down, but I'm just curious, how are they going to initiate their offense? They have not found an answer to this One Tribe defense yet. They've usually tried to start in the reset structure. Now they actually go for a cutter downfield. I like that change. Finally, Kieran Costello putting some initiation cutting going on. And now they have the movement. XVI looking to get back within one. Nice swing across the end zone. McNamara now. Let's see if that injury sub will pay some dividends. McNamara goes to the scoober, and it works out perfectly. Selkirk gets it in the back of the end zone. It's now 4-3.
From any other nation but Ireland, that would be an unconventional throw choice. But as we know, if you've got an Irish passport, it's almost like it's your birthright to throw what others call ridiculous scoobers against the elements into the end zone. I love the little bit of unconventionality, though. It works out and pays off. But switching up, because in the previous possession for that XVI line, Ravi, the stack looked so messy and so difficult. I mean, still this end zone set, it's almost like they're going for some sort of triangulation, like an offensive zone sort of strategic positioning to try and just say, okay, well, let's just make it really confusing and try and tempt the defender into poaching off. But like you said, that switch up to a very strict vertical stack and initiation from movement downfield before the disc was checked in, despite the slow walk, worked out very nicely. And it was lovely to see that throw as well. Joey Curtis, of course, we already named captain for having some pivotal drops in the early stages, resulting in those breaks for One Tribe. But nice to see him just able to collect that one. And also for XVI to get away from these very dynamic handler matchups.
Yeah, Kieran Costello, I think, is the hero of that play, actually making the first cut, finally generating something with cutter space. Now, One Tribe have it on offense. We've seen them falter before. Let's see if XVI can put some pressure on. They're coming out in a zone set. And that's going to be a bit far, but Poltok tracks it down. Parodi. Swings back across. Over to Baraldi. Emilio Baraldi this time. And that pass just a little bit overshot. Christian Gaglioni cannot pull it in. And Jack McNamara tries to pick it up immediately, but there's a call on the play. Violation called. Did you catch what the first call actually was that stopped play?
No, Ravi.
Okay. I just didn't understand. You went to pick it up, and all of a sudden everybody was stopped. Blade to the end zone. Is this going to work out? No. Oh my God! I can never. I keep saying no too quickly. Keep saying no just too quickly in this game.
Such a pessimist, Ravi. Have you not been watching this tournament so far? All sorts of ridiculous stuff has worked off.
Ridiculous stuff there from Jack McNamara as he tries to get the layout bid. The zone back in effect. Pretty much at a 1-3, where we got one marker and a wall of three defenders behind. It seems to work out. XVI with another short field opportunity. See if they can draw this game. Right now it's 4-3 for One Tribe. Pass goes up for Jack McNamara. He bodies out well, but disc keeps slipping out of his hands. He manages to get it in, and it may not be pretty, but it works. And XVI get a break, and we're back to 4-4, Hannah.
Oh my Lord. Well, XVI continuing to absolutely put it in the blender right now, just seeing what will work. Will it blend? Yeah, all right then, we'll drink that for another point, shall we, lads? I mean, my favourite moment of that point, which, blinking you miss it though, was Jack McNamara playing the point in the zone and almost going for, you know, like this single-legged deadlift when you've not got any weight on it. You do that sort of like tilt forward. It almost looked like he did that intentionally on the mark, and then the immediate next pass was a turnover that was just a dropped catch. But yeah, I mean, heck, XVI coming out here, deciding, say, why not? Let's just get loads of mud on our jerseys and play it a little bit hairy, scary, ride the rails.
Hannah, when it was 3-0 down, I was really thinking One Tribe was going to just waltz away with this one, but It's been plays from players like Ross O'Donovan, who's about to make the pull, that have kept XVI in this game. And they're just grinding it out there. That's not pretty. They haven't had a pretty point yet, but they keep clawing them back, and now we're even at 4-4.
We certainly are, Ravi. I mean, I think you cannot be overstated how important Ross O'Donovan has been in this game so far. Number 45 shirt, just 19 years old. So one to watch for sure.
Poltok now gets it, and looks like a totally different zone look here this time from One Tribe. More of a 2-2 look. Before they had the one marker on with a wall of three in the back. Now they have two people alternating on the mark. De Grazia has it now. Gets it back to Poltok. Disc swung across. The zone doing good work for XVI, forcing One Tribe into a lot of swing passes, exactly what they want to do, and just hope that an error comes. Oh, there just squeezes through the line. Another pass just barely working out. One Tribe holding on for dear life now. That's Gaglioni. And then the 1-2 pass, and Gaglioni can't hold on to it, and XVI's patience holds out. Finally gets the turn they wanted.
Well, you say patience. I don't think there was anything particularly about that zone that I'd call patient. More just flashing, flying, going for it, trying to put that pressure on to see if it will come good, but they squander the opportunity. Yeah,
and now One Tribe have a short field to work with. XVI seeming to try to get back into that zone again. De Grazia. Now bodies continue to fly around. Goes to ground as One Tribe, and then finds the space in the end zone, and they keep their lead 5-4.
Well, Ravi, here we have it. XVI throwing everything in the kitchen sink at this game at the moment on defense, but One Tribe finding a way through just about. But of course, over the course of this game, if we trade through, it's about how you build that pressure over the course of a match. You don't have to necessarily always get a block, always get a turnover. It helps your successful D stats, but we're not taking the full numbers for this game at the stage in the tournament. We will tomorrow, though, as we move towards the championship bracket.
The rain's starting to come down, and you wonder which team is it going to favor. And I think that when there were stiller conditions at the beginning of this game, One Tribe had the advantage. Now that the conditions are becoming a little more Irish, XVI playing a little more in this one.
A little more Irish. I like that as an idea. But nice to see some of these pulls now coming in inbounds as well.
XVI going back into that vertical stack and going from the front again. Working nice well with Costello. Costello pops it around to Doherty. Doherty gets to Costello. XVI looking pretty good here on this option, now close to their attacking brick mark. Up the line pass, corralled in well by Skelkirk. Skelkirk pops it in with a push pass, and XVI equalize again. It's 5-5.
You love to see it. Ballsy play after just a nice, and at long last, I think that might actually genuinely be our first clean hold of the game for XVI, if I'm not mistaken. That first O-line point that they punched in to take it 3-1. I think had a spill in the middle. Certainly feels that way anyway, but it seems like perhaps XVI, having had that slightly looser set of lines against Mooncatchers, made sure everybody got a decent amount of pitch time. They have a very short O-line, do XVI. Their traditional set of 7 are just those, only those 7 get used. So I think they maybe are identifying a few folks who are having a particularly good day so far and weaving them in here and there after that early scoreline deficit.
And that was Selkirk to Curtis, two players that have been very well involved in that offensive stand for XVI. We're getting closer to that 40-minute halftime cap. We're about 4 minutes away, 6 minutes away from that. One Tribe still with that little advantage. I believe still up one break as they started this game on defense. So still holding on, and we'll get offense out of half. Though it's hard to say that's even an advantage in this game, as probably if you did the stats, D-lines have scored just as much as O-lines. XVI coming back out in that zone, trying to generate another turnover on this One Tribe side. Poltok now. Zone doing really well to push One Tribe back. It's been about 5-6 passes, and they're still back in their defending end zone. And there comes the short turn opportunity. McNamara picks it up right away. And XVI makes short work of that one. Catch One Tribe's D-line, O-line sleeping. And they take the lead 6-5, I think their first lead of the game.
Well, Donovan there with a little bit of a failure to launch on the kick spike, I think. But, I mean, yeah, them's the breaks. Reese Connolly-Duggan doesn't actually have to get any touch of the disc, but just by flashing in that lane, just you can see the face of the intended target just rising up and going, oh goodness. Whistle clean defense, and then, as you say, catching the confusion, a quick counter-attack, absolutely annihilating any attempt at defense with a short field.
I think that was another goal for Ross O'Donovan. Keeps putting more on his stats sheet.
Oh, yes.
And a nice little pop in. That was Willem Longendijk.
So XVI putting it to 6. Of course, they can't have a score of 16. So we're max points cap of 50. Out of this matchup just yet. And it is really coming down right now. Yes. Hello. Yes, I can hear you. Okay. I don't know if you heard that, viewing audience. I know we're live right now, but that was just me communicating with our wonderful, hardworking technical crew who have just put the universe back together. Yeah, you're going to come in. Come all the way in, otherwise I can't do it. So XVI at the moment still one nudge in front over One Tribe. And I'm going to have a guest commentator. Oh, turn his headset off for a second. I'm going to have Tim Lorcan Murray come join us.
And what a match I am joining you for. It's been a lot of turnovers on this point as both teams try to grapple with the torrential downpour. But after a 3-0 start for One Tribe, the game has slipped out of their hands into XVI. But they have fought back. The Italians showing they have that spirit, that engine to drive them forward. 9-8 the current score, and everything on the line as the Dubliners desperate to complete that rocky road and take home the victory.
Doherty with a timeout call by the looks of things, having gotten a little bit of a push from behind. Not a tush push, no kind of American football style. But I have to say, Lorcan, you've kind of got the visage of, and I say this with all due respect and grace, of a drowned rat. In terms of want to rain, how much rain are we currently experiencing?
I would say at this point we're about 5,000 leagues under the sea. It's very strange to look out and confuse players for mermen. A certain Dubliner, not on this squad, to be clear. Right now, you can see One Tribe, that style where they like to get players into power positions and send leading passes as opposed to hucks downfield, is working out for the large part. But that desperation defense by XVI in the end zone, short field or under the hucks, has been very impressive. They're holding on by their fingernails right now, but can they complete it? This hold will go a long way.
Do you think it's a tactical timeout call by virtue of the fact that the rain has just recently significantly intensified? Do you think that he's making a bet that maybe 75 seconds time it will be less?
I think it's definitely worth saying. I believe XVI have a hidden code which is chocolate for when they need to take a break or something to that effect.
Like a Kit Kat?
Yes, that's what I'm assuming anyway, because if you hear their sideline as I was walking up and down it, I could hear screams of chocolate after they got their last turn. So not afraid to pause the game, reset, and then try and punch it in from here. It really is critical. Thank you very much for having me in the booth, Hannah. I will return you to your regularly scheduled programming.
Well, a handover. I've never felt so popular in a commentary booth in all my life, because every single player, they've abandoned the sidelines and are now just physically in our booth with us, dripping everywhere. Please don't drip on that laptop in the center of the table behind you, folks. But yeah, it is hairy, scary conditions. Doherty popping it back to get us started. The big man swishing and dishing.
Good to be back now. XVI looking to punch in to hold on to their lead, and they punch it in easily after the timeout. And we're back into this. 10-8 the score for XVI.
So yes, a little update. So sometimes at Frisbee tournaments, we've been unplugged for people's phone chargers, for cleaning staff's hoovers. No, the entire venue just lost power. It wasn't anyone unplugging anything. It was the entire venue went down in the in just the vicinity of Oostende.
Oh, there's a call on the field. Apparently it's not 10-8 yet.
Curiouser and curiouser, Ravi.
Now Donovan has the disc in his hands. I'm not sure what the discussion is about. Haven't seen a hand signal.
Well, I can smell a delicate scent on the air, Ravi, of the waffle maker that's clearly just come into business now. Maybe that was the thing, they were plugging in the waffle maker and that tripped the entire site's electricity. But either way,
if that's one thing the Belgian power grid should be used to, it's a waffle maker.
Absolutely. It's one of the highlights of Tom's tourney, having waffles made by Boris van der Luk's lovely father. Well, we seem to be back in play, so that call is standing. We're retracting that one goal.
Disc in the hands of Jack McNamara once again.
That's as he likes it.
XVI having an ISO set, 2 players isolated in that open space. 2 handlers, and then 3 players in the back trying to stay out of the way. McNamara goes to the dump back to Selkirk.
An unsurprising pick call there. 2 players just swiping past each other like a credit card.
Doherty goes to the shot into McNamara, and they do punch it in. The goal is signaled. Checking for a call. No call, no call, no call. Yes, it's 10-8 XVI.
And immediately the players seeking shelter with us in the commentary booth running onto the field. But a little bit more vim and vigour in the XVI camp. They are looking very much, I mean, deservedly so, happy about having pulled this one back. That's
yeah, just to recap for people that are just tuning in, we did start this game with a 3-0 run from one tribe as they started on defense on that one. So it was 3 breaks on the trot. And then when the rain came down, rain started coming down, XVI just threw in another gear. Their zone started working well, and they ended up clawing their way to, I believe, 6-5 was their first lead, and eventually took an 8-6 lead into going into half.
Here, and now you get limited space, but not here.
So we got O'Donovan, who's been, for my money, the man of the match for XVI in this one. Ready to pull for his team as they try to hold on to this lead. But as we said before, one tribe came back from similar score differential in their last game against Is No Good. So they've got some fight in them.
Oh, yeah.
Very young team from Bologna. As I dubbed this at the beginning of the game, the Battle of the Little Brothers. One tribe, little brother to Lafota, XVI, little brother to Ranelagh. One tribe goes for it deep. It was not really an open option there, and just outside of the reach of Davide Parodi.
Well, there's a lot of heads in hands on the Italian sideline, but I mean, there was a possibility, but it just needed to sit on the breeze a little longer. Although, comparative to the earlier part of the day, it's still conditions. It's just the wetness from above.
XVI continuing to start out of isolation and avert stack. Not something traditionally see that much at high-level open play anymore, but XVI keeping it old school.
Play the hits, Ravi. Play the hits.
O'Donovan now gets it up the field to Al McGovern. Nice inside pass. And XVI is just working here, and O'Donovan reaches, grabs that one. Now to the skies, everything's going XVI's way, and O'Donovan collects another score. That's a break for XVI, 11-8 now, the Irish lads in front.
Oh, well, someone go check on that Eurodisc, Ravi. That was a full force edge down spike by O'Donovan. I think XVI running away with it, but getting away with it. There was some slightly unconventional passes for sure. I mean, we talked at the beginning of the game about how perhaps some of the upside down overhead type throws we expect coming out of the players from the Emerald Isle. But that one, very, very fortunate man is O'Donovan. So he gets that grab and then sort of throws on the run, of course, taking advantage of the adjustment of the travel rules, never sets a pivot, happily can just run through a dish and then go and get it in the end zone. But risky biscuits paying dividends for XVI.
So the question is, can one tribe find some fight in them? They came back late in the game last round. Can they manage to do it this round?
Well, a little look at the inside of our production tent there. We've switched to the gimbal, slightly accidentally, but I'm sure we'll have someone cleated up and running down the sidelines with that very shortly to get you all the pretty faces on the sidelines.
So if one tribe want to get back into this, they're going to need a few breaks, but it starts with the hold. That one sails out of bounds well in front of the brick mark, so unsure if one tribe were calling for it. It looked like Poltok raised his hand up, so perhaps they're still going for the brick. Indeed, looks like Poltok's opting to take the brick mark as one tribe come out in their patented horizontal stack setup. Typically looking to initiate from the middle two players. This time they initiate from the corner, and that works out well on a nice swing past his side. Poltok now has it. So XVI coming back out in their zone. This one more of the two handler marks. And that one just getting through the XVI zone. Now they bladed it around. Nice movement here. Stefano Poggi doing a lot of the work in the handler space this time. De Grazia gets it back to Poltok. XVI have gone out of their zone into their person defense. Very different than one tribe. One tribe tend to keep the zone all the way. XVI getting out of it. Poltok looking for a break shot. No one really cutting for it. There he finally finds it. Now there's a one-on-one matchup in the end zone. And what beautiful offense there from one tribe to get through that XVI zone and then through those break spaces into the end zone. They're still in this one, 11-9 though. Irish lads in front.
Indeed, but a few minutes remaining, of course. The time cap slightly altered, curtailed to adjust to the fact that we've got these crazy conditions weather-wise here on Friday. Will we see a return of the 90-minute time slot tomorrow, do you think, Ravi?
From what I've seen from the weather, probably. but don't want to predict anything.
Well, yes. No, that will be for the competitions committee to decide and advise this evening. But yeah, One Tribe slightly running out of clock here, especially with the way that XVI are running away with the momentum. A lot of their offense looks, should we say, about as slippery as the conditions underfoot right now. But it's going to be difficult to ascend in the last stages. However, this is exactly a similar situation they found themselves in against Is No Good, who they got that victory against. So a win here for XVI would, of course, put all eyes on that matchup, likely between themselves and Is No Good coming up later today, as to who, of course, will be pushed out and eliminated from the championship bracket.
Oh, One Tribe with the pull to start things off. Selkirk gets it over to Doherty and Selkirk working the backfield together, looking at that classic XVI vertical stack. Sideline of the big man Fitzgerald gets it backwards. There we get Costello on the sideline. He fakes the big one. Doherty and Costello finally get it to the middle of the field. Swing goes across, and we keep hearing the switch of the force from One Tribe. They're going for a force middle look right now. Try and limit that XVI movement. Duty. Nice inside pass to Costello. Another inside pass. They just continue up the break side, and that's beautiful movement from XVI. They go up 12-9.
Scores 12-9.
To XVI?
Yeah. So, I mean, Ravi, we'll get a quick time check from the scorekeepers during the next point as to exactly how long is left on the game clock. Ours has it at just about 4 minutes. If you're One Tribe, of course, the score is slightly different, one extra for each of the teams as that gets applied right now as we say it. But in terms of getting the defensive block on XVI, what do you reckon for these Italians?
I think you got to vary something. I think you have to keep throwing different looks. XVI, you don't want them to get comfortable. I don't think that One Tribe is really, at the beginning of the game, they were able to totally shut down options one-on-one. It seems like XVI have played out of that. So I think varying things, going into a junk look, maybe for a couple counts, then into the one-on-one, something like that. I think they're going to have to throw everything out there if they want to get back in this game.
I like it. A bit of transition zone, because, of course, the wind has now absolutely disapparated.
Disapparated.
That's a little bit of a nerd reference.
So XVI themselves happy to slow this game down with their own zone. They don't really need to get the blocks. Just keep those One Tribe players out there. And there's a bit of a reach, a little bit of a bump there from the XVI defender, but One Tribe not saying anything about it. De Grazia now. 1-2 move through this zone. Nice inside pass from De Grazia. Gets it over to Poltok on the sideline. He continues quickly. Poltok's open there for the continuation. Doesn't like it. Goes across the middle of the field. Nice movement here again from One Tribe. Now being patient, looking for that option. Poltok. Poltok goes to the break pass. He wants it all in one. The jump into the end zone, and at One Tribe stay alive. It's 12-10. XVI still up by 2.
Well, that is more like it. There's moments, I think, Ravi, when One Tribe are on offense and they're not moving the disc quite as laterally as they could in terms of to deny the fact that XVI are doing a lot of hanging out in the lanes. They're doing a lot of help defense on the open side. And if they can kind of ignite that motion a little bit sooner with the resets, get the disc laterally moving towards the break side more frequently and more quickly, what they can start to do is basically catch those defenders out and get a really easy shot, whether it's for a goal or just a gainer on the break side.
So timeout now here on the fields. You asked me, I'll ask you. You're in One Tribe's huddle right now. You're down 12-10. You're coming out on D. What are you looking to do right now?
I actually really like your call of going for a transitionary zone. I think in terms of something that puts a lot of pressure on the handlers, maybe something a little bit passive, but make sure that your deep is someone who is a great selection and is having a good game. But realistically, this is going to be all about holding nerve when you get the disc back, though. So we talked about how to get a block, but actually how do you then keep the disc away from these Irish lads who've they've grabbed this game by the scruff of the neck and they're just shaking it, you know, like they're just like they're trying to kill a goldfish in a bag.
And we'll see if they come out with that transition or just come out solid. You see Poltok there trying to ignite some energy into his team. XVI also excited coming out of their huddle. That was Davide Parodi that got the score there in that last point. He's playing really, really well. So there's a lot of one-tribe players playing phenomenally, but there was that middle section of the game that XVI just took control of it, and they haven't relinquished it yet.
Yeah, they really are just absolutely riding the lightning during the course of this match. But, I mean, this is...
Don't say lightning, Hannah. It's just not say things like that right now.
Oh, we say ride the lightning all the time, and it works out fine, Ravi. I don't know what you could possibly be talking about. Of course, it's the one thing when you sign all your waivers that you actually are requested to not wait for anyone to tell you to leave. As soon as you see thunder, see lightning, hear thunder, you're basically said, yeah, okay, just remove yourself from the field site. But if you're XVI, though, if you can sneak away with the win here, that is a big old boost to your campaign today, because of course that 15-11 scoreline, a lot of confidence across the board, not just in their top 7, but everyone made sure that there was a good amount of pitch time against that big opponent, which is clearly paying off a little bit extra here.
According to our clock, at least, we've now gone over 80 minutes. That happened in the middle of that timeout, so if things go the way we think, we should be finishing this point and adding 1 to the score. XVI now gets it to Costello in the middle. Joey Curtis looking for options. Doesn't see anything he likes. Eventually gets Costello in the middle. Across from the bidding defender. Costello holds on to it. Back to Curtis in the handler space. Curtis gets it up the field. It goes past the defender, and James O'Donovan now pops it up himself, and number 88, Sean Fitzgerald, gets the goal. XVI 13-10 up, and I believe that should be a game to 14, Hannah?
Correct. I literally just went to our wonderful volunteer scorekeeper on the sideline, who is looking the soggiest of all the humans. The scorekeepers do have their own little tent right next to ours. However, they have to be out all day in a similar fashion to our cam ops. So, yes, can confirm game to 14. I'm really liking the way that XVI are actually using the high releases, especially now that the wind has pretty much disappeared from feel, because you can't see wind, obviously. But yeah, really just using that high release sort of shoulder height, taking advantage that they do have ever so slight height advantages in most of their matchups for their O-line.
One thing I will note, Hannah, last time the game was this still was the beginning of the game, and that's when one tribe went on a 3-0 run. So can they do it here and bring us to Universe? Let's see. It's going to start with the hold. Ross O'Donovan with the pull. Another one of his great pulls this game. Horizontal stack here from one tribe. Round pass over to Zocca. That's Baraldi with it. Zocca and Baraldi working with it over to Di Grazi. That's Bragin. The whole one tribe O-line getting touches on this point. Looking for option on the side and a bit of miscommunication. Jack McNamara steps inside, and one XVI have the chance to finish this game. Ross O'Donovan has it on the doorstep. Nobody's attacking the end zone yet. O'Donovan looks for the end zone. Gets the break pass around, and XVI take the win 14-10 over one tribe here in the EUCF 2024 pool stages.
Wow. I mean, honestly, Willem Longendijk had absolutely no right whatsoever to make that catch. It's almost like he had a secret piece of metal secured to the disc and a magnet in his paws. What a clutch grab to get that break, because that first pass looked like it was going absolutely nowhere. But what a way to back it up and support each other. I still think player of the match has to be Ross O'Donovan. Really just so pivotal in the early, mid and late stages for XVI. If he can keep executing at this level, then the lads could go well into the stages here. Commiserations to One Tribe. I think they certainly have a lot of talent on their roster, but just couldn't quite put it together to steal the disc away on defense.
So that'll do it for this round. XVI taking the win, 14-10 over One Tribe. But up next, we've got another set of matches for you. We have TC Taucher versus Reading Ultimate in the mixed division, and Leamington Lemmings, who have had not the greatest day so far, going to take it to Mosquitoes from Austria as well. Those two games coming up at 4 o'clock Central European time. For Hannah Pendlebury, I've been Rob Vasudevan, and we'll see you in the next round.
I'm not looking to meet new friends.